and I took all 4 tests in 6 weeks, and I passed each on my first try. Yeah, I didn't do it right away, and I don't think I did it in the most efficient way. I definitely would recommend to people that they try to jump into it right away, just because when your brain is wired to study is the best time to kind of do the studying and the tests. It's just the working is a different environment. Nevada has a little bit stricter rules. You actually have to have 4,000 hours of experience in public to get your license. And so that's 2 years full time. And so, when I finished school, I was like, oh, I'll wait till, about the end of my 2 years and I'll start taking my tests. And then my 2 years passed, and then my 3 years passed. And then I was almost getting on 4, and I was like, I probably need to go do this now. And the motivation to get it kind of hurt, because you realize that whether you have the license or not, you're kind of doing the same job. Your ability to prepare tax returns, to tie out a trial balance, to, generate work papers. Getting the license doesn't impact that at all. It just impacts your ability to advance. And, I knew a lot of people who had their license who weren't very good at their job. And so I was like, it made it hard to work hard for this thing. Our firm actually, to counteract the hours of tax season, we work reduced hours between October 15th and the end of the year. We only have to work 32 hours a week during that time. And so, on weeks with holidays where, Thanksgiving, for example, we get Thursday, Friday off. Well, then you get your extra day off, so it's a 2-day work week. And so I was like, I decided I'd start studying for my exams after October 15th. Actually in 2021, I just got my license. Got a full head of steam, and I took all 4 tests in 6 weeks, and I passed each on my first try. I wouldn't recommend doing that to anyone else, because I was almost not a human being during that time. It was, eat, sleep, and study for the CPA exams. But I got through all 4 in the 6 weeks of our shortened window and shortened work window, and that was that. But I wouldn't recommend waiting that long to anyone else. I was lucky, and I'd also give some credit to Becker. Their practice exams are very accurate, and so I, instead of working my way through the modules, I'd take a practice exam, identify, okay, here's, if there's 16 modules, there was anywhere from 7 to 11 that I was going to be fine on. And so then I would just go back and study those modules that I'd done poorly on in the practice exam, take another practice exam, maybe there's 2 or 3 more I needed to go pay some more attention to, and then take their final prep exam. And I did that over 2 weeks for each test. I went 2 weeks test, 2 weeks test, 2 weeks test, 2 weeks test, and I was done. I think it helped a lot with BEC and with tax, and with reg, because those are kind of the things I work in. I think that had I worked in audit or FAR would have been easier. I definitely think that because I waited so long between college and now, and that we don't do much audit, we don't do hardly any gap work, and even our reviews are mainly tax basis. That definitely hurt me on the audit and gap side. The audit and FAR side, just because there were, plenty of things I hadn't been exposed to in years, but definitely my work experience helped me with reg and with BEC. So I actually took reg first, because I just figured I work in tax. This is going to be the easiest test for me. Let me try to start something with